Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? Hope you all will be doing good. Today's topic is demand equation and schedule, supply and its meaning. Equation of demand. Here in this topic, today we are going to discuss that how we can derive demand equation if schedule is given and how do we get a schedule if demand equation is given. Plotting of demand graph will also be discussed in today's lecture. Functional equation of demand shows a relationship between price of a commodity and quantity demanded. And we write it like as QD equals to F of P. QD stands for quantity demanded, F stands for functional relationship, and P stands for price. It is found that in short run, changes in demand are a result of changes in price of a commodity. From economic theory, we know that there is a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. That is, price increases, demand decreases. Price decreases, demand increases. So, general demand equation can be written as quantity demanded equals to A minus BP. Minus sign with B indicates that there is a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. From this general equation, we can get a specific form of an equation also. For example, assume A equals to 50, B equals to 5. By putting these values in a general form of equation, we will get a demand equation which will be known as a specific form of demand equation. And that will be QD equals to 50 minus 5P. Formula. If demand schedule is given, we can find equation of demand. Formula is Q minus Q1 equals to Q2 minus Q1 over P2 minus P1 into P minus P1. Now, at your right hand side, you can see a schedule is given. In first column, prices are given, and in second column, quantity demanded is given. Price is 2, quantity demanded is 90. Price is 3, quantity demanded is 80. Price increases to 4, quantity demanded decreases to 70. This indicates a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. Price increases, quantity demanded decreases. Now, you can take any of a value as P1. But do remember, whatever value you take as a P1, quantity demanded in front of that P1 will be considered as Q1. After P1, next value will be P2. And the quantity demanded in front of P2 will be considered as Q2. Now I am taking P1 equals to 2 and P2 equals to 3. When P1 is 2, Q1 is 90. When P2 is 3, Q2 is 80. Now by putting values in a formula, we get Q minus 90 equals to 80 minus 90 divided by 3 minus 2 into P minus 2. Then Q minus 90 equals to minus 10 over 1 multiplied by P minus 2. After further solving an equation, we get Q minus 90 equals to minus 10 into P minus 2. In next step, we will get an equation Q minus 90 equals to minus 10P plus 20. Here, when minus sign will be multiplied with minus sign, it will be converted into a positive sign. That's why we are writing plus 20. Or after solving an equation further, we get Q equals to minus 10P plus 20 plus 90. Or Q equals to 110 minus 10P. Again, minus sign here indicates a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. This is how we can derive an equation if demand schedule is given to us. Now, we can also derive a demand schedule if an equation is given to us. Suppose equation given to us is QD equals to 50 minus 5P. With the help of an equation, we can derive a demand schedule by assuming any 5 values to P. If values are given, we have to put those values in the equation. But if values are not given to us, then we will suppose 5 values to P and put those 5 values one by one in an equation to get a quantity demanded. When P equals to 1, quantity demanded equals to 50 minus 5 into 1 equals to 50 minus 5 equals to 45. When P equals to 2, quantity demanded equals to 50 minus 5 into 2, that will be 50 minus 10 equals to 40. When P is 3, quantity demanded equals to 50 minus 5 into 3 equals to 50 minus 15 equals to 35. That is how we get the values of Q by putting the values of P in an equation. In this way, we can easily derive our demand schedule by putting values of P in our equation. If demand schedule is given to us, we can easily draw a demand curve. You can see in a slide, on your right hand side demand schedule is given, and on your left hand side demand curve is given. Prices are plotted on y-axis, quantity on x-axis. Here you can see price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is plotted on y-axis, and quantity 45, 40, 35, 30, 25 is plotted on x-axis. Here you can see when price is 1, quantity demanded is 45. When price is 2, quantity demanded is 40. When price is 3, quantity demanded is 35. When price is 4, quantity demanded is 30. And when price is 5, quantity demanded is 25. By joining these points, you get a curve, and that curve will be known as a demand curve, sloping downwards. Downward slope of a demand curve indicates a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. Price increases, quantity demanded decreases. This is how we can derive demand schedule, demand graph, and demand equation. Supply and its meaning. Supply means the quantities of the commodity offered for sale at different prices during a given time period. Or supply is a schedule showing amount of a good that would be offered for sale at different prices. Now supply versus stock. For a common man, word supply and stock of a commodity may have the same meaning, but a student of economics needs to distinguish the two terms. Stock is a total quantity of a commodity available in or near the market which can be brought for sale at a short notice. Whereas supply is the quantity which is actually offered for sale out of an existing stock at different prices. If the commodity is durable and the prices offered is not acceptable, a part of the stock will be withheld. Relationship of time period to supply. Supply depends upon period of time under consideration. Firstly, market period supply. It refers to a very short period, for example, day-to-day market. Supply remains fixed for perishable goods, and in case of durables, supply can be increased or decreased out of existing stock only. Secondly, short period supply. It refers to the period of time in which adjustments in supply can be made in response to changes in price. However, time available is not very long, even in short period supply. Long period supply. It refers to such a long period in which all necessary changes can be brought in the industry. Size of a firm can also be increased or decreased. This is known as long period supply. And lastly, reserve price. This is the minimum price below which a seller does not want to sell any quantity. For example, a person selling chairs may consider rupees 500 as a minimum acceptable price. Then rupees 500 is the reserve price. This price depends upon the nature of the commodity and circumstances of the seller. This is all for today, students. Till next lecture, enjoy yourselves and take very good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.